Greetings, dear ones. We see some repeat customers here today as well as some new faces. And we would like to welcome each and every one of you to this special holiday meditation designed to help you expand your consciousness. We hope that you find this useful not only today, but for times to come. You see, this is a special time because it's when many of you celebrate your various seasonal festivities. It's the time of the year when you tend to be more open and generous of spirit and feel a greater connection to your fellow humans. And it's the connectedness that is so important because it opens you up to the universal spirit. One of the holidays you celebrate is Christmas, which marks the birth of Christ. While the story you tell is embellished and mythologized to some extent, at the center of it resides a sacred truth. When Yeshua, as he was known to his contemporaries, was born some 2,000 years ago, he was both a messenger and the message. He embodied so much of the Christ consciousness, of which all of you are a part, that the abilities he possessed were seen as magical and miraculous. His message, however, was to show that every single individual was as much a Christ as he was, and possessed the same abilities as he did. He wasn't a Messiah sent down to save you, but instead he wanted to show that every person's salvation lies within themselves. Unfortunately, the people misinterpreted the message and began to worship the messenger. They did, however, intuitively sense the greater underlying truth that's encoded deep within the human DNA. We would have you understand that Christ consciousness is the collective consciousness of the planet Earth. Each person is a part of this collective. You are all individuated sparks of this entity. At this time, the collective is undergoing the ascension transformation, which is the second coming of Christ. This is not to mean that another avatar will come down to save humanity, but that every individual is waking up to the realization that they are Christ consciousness personified. What we would like to do today is help you reconnect with that greater truth and greater reality of which you are a part. You see, you're always connected to it, but what we want to do for you today is to help you connect in a different way. Help you connect from your physical perspective so that you can make this energy and the information available to you from your human point of view. To get a better idea of what this collective is, think of an ocean. The waves rise out of the ocean, washing up on the shore, thus collecting information and making contact with different parts of the beach. The water grazes your feet as the waves roll onto the shore. But once each individual wave returns back into the ocean, we bet that you'd be hard-pressed to look and tell exactly which portion of the water lapped at your feet just moments ago. You see, it is the same with you. You go outward as a fragment after the whole splinters itself and sends those portions out into many different realities. But when you return, you seamlessly merge with the collective and become one, with no sense of separation. So what we would have you do right now is close your eyes and begin to focus on your heart center. Simply identify it and feel it deep within. We always like to come back to the heart chakra because it is very important in your connection with the source, as well as all other beings in creation. As you connect to your heart center, we would like you to observe it and see it filled with beautiful golden light. So take a moment to sense this light in the middle of your chest. And as you view this light, you begin to notice that from the middle of your chest, there is a golden light cord extending outward. When you look down at this cord, you know that its other end connects to something else. Now see yourself floating in a deep, dark void, hanging by the golden thread that's coming out of your chest. You may envision this as floating among the stars in space. Use your imagination in whatever way you feel inspired. While you continue to float weightlessly through the void, watch the cord extend far out and away from you. We will have you follow this tether to its other end. This cord can contract and expand at will like a rubber band. It is a part of your energy system, and so you have full control over it. Allow this thread to pull you to the place where it is permanently anchored. And as you're being pulled, you can now see that the cord connects to a massive, beautiful, holographic crystal made of colored light. This enormous energy crystal, suspended in the void, has innumerable facets that glow and flicker in the dark. This crystal represents the One. It represents Christ consciousness. And you're but a tiny facet within this crystal, along with many others. You have a place in this design that is uniquely yours, that serves a special purpose. When you come up close and reconnect with your special nook within the crystal, become aware of how you fit into this magnificent design. And as you dive into it, look around and sense the energy of this structure. Are you able to distinguish other beings that are separate facets of this collective entity? Are you able to recognize their individual energetic signatures? Can you feel your soul connection with them through the heart center? Do you feel rejoiced about coming back home? Because this is where the home is. This is your place of origin, where you came from before traveling into the physical reality that you've become so accustomed to. As you continue to explore this structure, allow the distinctions between the various personalities to slowly fade, and permit yourself to merge with the totality of this being. Become an undifferentiated part of it. Become it. Become the one. Once you have done that, feel your awareness stretch and your consciousness expand. Feel your perspective shift. Feel how this experience changes your point of view. This is the place of unconditional love, of endless supply. This is a place of no fear, of unlimited creativity. It's the place where you're able to fully regenerate yourself, become nourished, and bask in the glow of its immeasurable love. Once the illusion of separation has been fully stripped away, allow yourself to receive important and pertinent information in whatever way may be appropriate or possible for you. Information that is applicable and helpful in your current lifetime. Should you feel a need for guidance, then ask this greater being for assistance, knowing that you can receive whatever you need. This being is in fact you, though a much more expanded version of you. It's the hand steering and directing your course. Allow yourself to enjoy this sacred communion for another moment. Now that you know yourself as the one, as the Christ consciousness, as the collective, we would once again ask you to look around from that perspective and see yourself as a singular being from a whole different level of awareness. And as you do this, realize that even this immense consciousness is but a facet of an even greater entity. The reason you refer to Jesus as the Son of God is that you intuitively understand that Christ consciousness, as massive as it may be, is still a portion of an even greater collective. While embodying Christ consciousness as a single entity, see yourself as a facet of an even bigger crystal. While you maintain your connection through the golden cord, begin to merge with that greater self, of which Christ consciousness is but a small part. And once again, feel yourself expand. Expand outward, increasing your abilities and knowledge. Allow yourself to absorb new levels of information in the form of energetic frequency. This level of awareness is so beyond anything that the physical mind can comprehend that oftentimes we must bypass it altogether. But trust that your energetic and cellular structures will retain this information, becoming a part of you and allowing you to bring it back. This energy can never be lost, and when needed, the knowledge will be released in small and appropriate doses. As you continue to integrate into the source beyond the Christ consciousness, know that even this level is but another step within the unbounded matrix of creation. There are infinite levels of expansion, so immense in fact that they can't be comprehended from your current point of view. As you continue to grow and evolve as a being, you increase your ability to connect with these levels and understand them to a better extent, as well as to utilize the information inherent within them. At this time, we want to call back on you and ask you to come back down a level. Back to the living crystal of Christ consciousness, which embodies the collective of the planet Earth. Feel this gradual contraction of energy as you make your journey. Once you bring yourself back to the Christ level, take a few moments to feel and remember this energy, to create a conscious link between your physical mind and this state of being. Set up a pathway, a shortcut, which you can use in the future to access this expanded portion of yourself. As you feel this immense power flow into you through the connection, know that there's no reason to ever feel small or insignificant. We now call on you to condense your being down even further, becoming the sparkling facet of the Christ crystal. Become once again the individual personality that you know yourself to be. feel a renewed sense of purpose and responsibility to be of service to the whole. And then slowly begin to separate from this crystal. As you float away, you remain attached by the golden cord through a connection that can never be severed. See yourself floating in space, close to the beautiful crystal, realizing that this golden cord represents the path you chose to travel in this life. This is the path that the Source chose to explore through you. And as you look at this cord coming out of your chest, see it now split into 2, then 3, and then 4 different threads extending out of your heart center. These 4 lines, stemming from the central cord, represent probable paths that you can take from this point forward. So take a moment to try each one on for size and see which one of these extensions holds the key to your highest dreams, aspirations, and wishes. This information may not come as a clear aha moment, saying take this one or that one, or this is what awaits if you follow thread number 2 or thread number 3. You may simply get an intuitive feeling, nudging you in a specific direction. Or you may feel a pull and a tug from one of these branches. Trust the intelligence of your guidance system, both physically and energetically. Trust the signals you receive through the symbolic communication that have meaning and significance for you. It may well be that the path you're currently on is indeed the best probability for you to follow, which means that no changes are necessary. But if it's not, then now is your opportunity to make a conscious choice and shift to a better reality. Once you've determined which path you wish to pursue, grab a hold of that particular thread and make a shift to that parallel reality. As you make a commitment to this choice, watch the other path slowly fade away and dissolve into the void. Not choosing them doesn't make these probabilities defunct. It simply means that they will be walked by other versions of you. Now that you've made your selection, see this cord clearly pointing to a new direction, unfolding in front of you like a roadway. And start walking this path, walking back into the new life and the new reality you have chosen for yourself. Gradually moving farther and farther away from the crystal, yet never losing your connection. Going forward, you can always come back and use this tool to reorient yourself, and to expand into the greater reality of who you are, to recharge and remember your true nature. As you continue your journey backwards, you now reconnect with your physical body, returning to an altered version of the physical space which you will now occupy. Become aware of your surroundings. Look around and see if you notice any subtle differences. We remind you that for some of you, it is not the same place that you left when you began this journey. It's different, and you're different. Settle into your new life and get comfortable in it. But know that you'll have to continue to apply yourself to make this new reality work for you. We would once again like to thank you for this opportunity to be of service. This transmission is now complete.